talk about the journey of Grassroots as a story. I will try, it's very easy for me to speak in English because that's how I think, but I will try and make a conscious effort to speak in Hindi. अगर मैं कोई बात बोलूं जो आपको समझ में नहीं आए तो प्लीज़ मुझे बिना झिझक के आप रुका सकते हैं और मैं हिंदी में या गुजराती में बोलने की ज़रूर कोशिश करूँगी. If I speak, अगर मैं हिंदी में बात करूँ तो मैं थोड़ी स्लो हो जाती हूँ. इंग्लिश में थोड़ा बोलना थोड़ा फटाफट तेज़ होता है. ओके. ये कहानी की मैं सिर्फ सूत्रधार हूँ. ये कहानी है मेरे अच्छे दोस्त और ग्रासरूट्स के फाउंडर आइनीर पिनेरियो की. आइनीर पिनेरियो स्टूडेंट है, XIMB के पास आउट थे. ग्रीन पीस में उन्होंने अपना फर्स्ट काम या कार्यशैली उन्होंने ग्रीन पीस नामक इंटरनेशनल संस्था में उन्होंने शुरू की. ग्रीन पीस में वो थे लगभग 3 साल तक. और ग्रीन पीस के बाद जब उन्होंने वो काम छोड़ा और वो सोच रहे थे कि अब क्या, क्योंकि वो XIMB से थे और अगर आप आइनीर को मिले, जैसे आदमी आइनीर है, उनको लोगों की मदद करना, जो रूरल लोग हैं उनके लिए कुछ करने की जिज्ञासा, और हमेशा उनको ऐसा लगता है कि मैं उनके लिए कुछ करूं, टू हेल्प द लोकल or the weaker class of this, so-called weaker class of the society rather. That is how he started working with an NGO, और एक NGO के साथ काम करना शुरू किया उन्होंने. Water. Water is a big organization which is primarily the headquarters, Pune, headquarters, I have to keep reminding myself I need to speak in Hindi, sorry about that. Okay, is that okay with you? Okay, I'll come back to you. Okay, so he started following the organization Water, and Water is a very, very large organization that is currently based in Pune. Water works in very, very remote areas across the country, but at that point of time primarily in Maharashtra. The year that I am talking about is around 2005 is at that point of time. So Aini started following Water. Water एक जो संस्था में थे. Water was to work in a place called Purushwadi. Purushwadi is as remote as it gets. To give you an idea as to where Purushwadi exactly is, it's around 220 kilometers from Mumbai. It's on the ghats. Yeah, so you literally have to be driving for at least 1.5 hours. You'll be going on the ghats, and then you'll reach in one corner is Purushwadi. Extremely rustic, extremely rural. It's the Mahadev Koli tribes of people that live over there. When he went to Purushwadi, there's no electricity. Of course, it's very, very rustic, very rural. They are dependent on small sector farming. There is no other income source for these people. When Ainir was there, he realized that the amount of distress migration over there is very high. Distress migration to metro cities such as Mumbai, Pune for job search. He realized that there was nothing else. वहाँ पे कुछ और करने के लिए नहीं था. अगर उस साल बारिश नहीं हुई या उतनी पानी नहीं रहा, तो खेती के सिवा अलावा और आमदनी का कोई जरिया नहीं था. तो ऐसे क्षेत्र में हम इन लोगों के लिए हम क्या कर सकते हैं? तो आइनीर की ये सोच थी. तभी उनको ऐसा लगा कि अगर मैं टूरिज्म या रूरल टूरिज्म में कुछ शुरुआत करूं, तो उसे जो पैसे आएंगे वो इन लोगों को मदद करेंगे. And instead of taking them to the metro cities, why not get the metro people to come and see what rural India is all about? Of course, being an XIMB graduate, he was very well aware about all the stats and the figures about unemployment, the number of youth coming into the sector, the amount of money that the rural economy puts in. But what are the different sources other than agriculture? What else can be done in the rural area? That was on the back of his mind. And that's where he kick-started and he piloted working in Purushwadi. Purushwadi, he started working with just 1 or 2 homes. The idea was to set up basically rural homestays where people will come in. They will get to experience the rural traditional lifestyles, follow the farmer, shadow them in how they are doing in working, look at the go for a trek, enjoy the simple things of life. Purushwadi is such a place where you have no network. Okay? So literally halfway from Mumbai to Purushwadi, halfway you will lose network. So there is no network, there is hardly any electricity. So there's literally nothing much that you can do over there. You have to be engaging with the people. How do they live? It's a way of, you know, getting yourself out of all these electronic things and even kind of de-stressing yourself and getting back to your original roots. So that was the idea when he started. The idea was to set up community-based tourism, provide in a way which provides employment and also stops distress migration. Didn't think a lot about it. He says that, oh, I never had a big plan and all, I just literally jumped for it. And I think a lot of the businesses quite often start that way, you know, you just jump and go ahead, give it a shot and then see where it goes. So that's how we started with Purushwadi. Of course, a supporting pillar at that stage was the organization, the NGO Water. It's WOTR. They were the ones who helped and supported a lot. Over a period, I'm going to go a little fast because I have some pictures that I would like to show you and a video, and I'm very conscious of the time. After that, he set up Dehne, which is also in Maharashtra itself. Dehne is around 110 kilometers away from Mumbai. So he registered in 2009, formally registered. Yeah. So from 2009 to up until now, Grassroutes works in 16 different villages in 4 states of India. We work primarily in Maharashtra, Gujarat, with in partnership with AKRSP in the Dangs area, Madhya Pradesh and Andhra Pradesh. In all of these areas, our style of working is a little different in the sense, whereas Purushwadi and Dehna, we are purely into tourism, which is supported by us. We do all the marketing for it. And we work directly with the communities. We have set up homestays over a period of time. To work with these communities, it has been a challenge because you have to train them from very, very simple things, in the sense like when tourists are coming into your place, into your village, how do you welcome them? How do you talk about it? A villager might not even feel that, you know, my village temple is, yes, there's a village temple. And he assumes that everybody understands why you are praying to a particular type of statue of God, which sometimes might literally be in the shape of a rock. But what is the significance of that? What is the significance in the type of food you eat? So we had to tell and train these villagers to tell their stories. So they were acting then as our guides, our cooks, our cleaners, and in Purushwadi when we had, sorry, I have to go back and forth because think about how not using PPTs is a little limiting. It's a challenge. Okay, sorry about that. When he started in Purushwadi, the place being very rustic and rural, he started with homestays. One of the things that very early on we realized that for any person that is coming, the first very, very basic thing, you will sleep anywhere, especially women. What we definitely do need is a clean toilet. A clean toilet and a bathroom is an absolute must. And somehow just by building a very, very simple basic facilities of having a Western style toilet and a clean, neat bathroom with a small wash basin literally helped us, and it gave the people, it gave our customers a notion of the fact that, you know, this place is also a little bit more safe. There is of course safety over there because they are villagers and all, but if you're looking at it from your client's perspective, what is it that your customer wants? You might feel it's all right, you know, you can sleep anywhere, you can be fine, and you know, you can live in the villagers' houses. But these villagers, they don't have toilets per se, and that is a must need for the people or your clients that are coming from the metro cities. So he built some very, very simple rustic toilets over there. Over the years, we've then set up a campsite. The beauty of Grassroots is we own nothing. Nothing belongs to us. The place where our campsite is, that land also belongs to the community. We have leased it from them. Our tents are very, very simple canvas tent with a cement type plinth inside it, literally a cement bed on which we keep these cotton mattresses. It's very, very simple, very basic. Sometimes if we have to just move it, we can just remove the tent, break off the plinth, and the land is back for use. So nothing is owed by Grassroots as such. It all belongs to the community. The communities, the whole idea of Grassroots, a community-based tourism, was to empower them, so it was for them. So now we are working, in Madhya Pradesh, our model is little different. We work in the Pench Tiger Reserve. So there, because the only people or the majority of the people that are coming into the Pench Tiger Reserve, there are lots and lots of hotels over there. We don't want to take up a battle with these hoteliers. Okay, we are not up against each other. What we want to do in Pench is, those people who are living there on the fringes of the core area, we want their stories to be heard. We want the Gond tribes who are living over there, the Gond artists who are there, their work to come out and be shown to the tourists. So we adopted a different novel approach. What we do is, we work in partnership with these hotels. Some of these are 5-star hotels. We tell them that your clients at any point of time, the number of people that are going inside the core area are very less. Like, you have to book a trip. If anybody is gone on a safari, you have to book a trip in advance. After that, there is nothing else that you can do. You can just sit in the 5-star hotel and maybe enjoy their basic amenities that they're offering you over there. But if you have taken the time and you've traveled all the way to Pench, why not go and meet the people, interact with the people, the tribes that have grown up over there? We name them as tiger tribes because these are people who have grown up seeing the tiger literally pass by their house. Why don't you hear their stories? How about having a cup of tea with them? See, in these cases, we had to always be cautious at the back of our mind that we do not want to go up against the hotels. Yeah, that was never the idea. The reason why we started working in the Pench was because we were invited by one of the large CSR programs to come and look into that area and work with those tribals. So Pench was not something that we did out of choice. I mean, it wasn't like, oh, we decided to go to Pench, but rather it was that a corporate came, contacted us. We saw that, yes, there is a possibility. We did a recce over there, and that's how we started working. What we do in Pench is we only offer a cup of tea or something. There is no, you're not going to be spending the night with the villagers. Unlike in Purushwadi or in Dehena, if you come and stay, you can stay in our campsite. You can spend the night over there. As the years has gone by, what we've learned also is that just by pure tourism, as to, just relying on general public, whether family tourist or not, is not going to earn your bread and butter on a daily basis. Our campsites are literally shut for almost 2.5 months in a year because the heat is so intense. You cannot come in. There is just nothing that you can do over there. It's so hot. How do you ensure that your staff members are paid? Yeah, all of us need to be paid, right? Some have rent, school fees, all of that need to come in. So as an entrepreneur, that is always at the back of your mind. It's a big challenge. The villagers may not be ready to work or it's too hot, but the salaries still need to go out no matter what. So how do you deal with that? That's when what we did is you diversify your business. You come up with various different verticals for your business. You look at different audiences. So the product that I'm selling is very much the same. However, my audience has changed. And I have changed my product a little bit to meet the needs of my audience. For example, Dehena is hardly 2.5 hours away from Mumbai. Can I do school trips? Can I get a lot of school children to come and experience rural life? If I use my example, I am born and brought up in Mumbai. Yeah? Till I joined Grassroots, I had never ever been to a rural village, never. I've always been a city person, always traveled to places which were, very metro and things like that. Never been to I've only seen it on television. So it was only after I joined Grassroots when I realized, oh my God, this is like a whole different world. And this is very, very important. What I missed out, I've only heard it from my grandparents. My grandparents live very close to Anand, and the other side of the family comes from Ahmedabad. So there is nobody that comes from a village per se. So it's like my daughter needs to be aware of this. If we don't teach them, a lot of these things will be left out. A lot of the inventions that you see today, or a lot of these machines and all, these dehullers and all, the stone mill grinder, the theory is behind that stone mill grinder. So if you don't know how the stone mill grinder works, you're not going to be able to invent newer machines. So if we want new engineers today, they need to learn what the ancient technologies were. So with that in mind, the Grassroots team decided that we're going to be reaching out to schools. It was like a low-hanging fruit because you get large number of students to come in for a day trip. The amount of money you generate is quite high. Evening they go back, they spend a day with the villagers, they go climb trees, they can take mangoes, they are doing farm to plate exercise, a lot of it which is very similar to the work that PSI does. We worked with schools, we work with corporates. Corporates, we run corporate training programs on various different verticals. We work with management students as well. A lot of the management students, yeah, whether it's rural management or everyone, you come, or say for example, you're a Delhi boy, yeah, you're a Delhi student. Now you have gone and studied in one of the top MBA colleges or even the second most good MBA colleges. You've spent a fortune studying over there. You've got a job in Mahindra Finance. Yeah? You think, wow, I'm in Mahindra Finance. I'm going to sit in the Bombay office. It's a nice air-conditioned office. Life is good. You know, like, abhi main to corporate mein aa gaya hu. But Baba, what does Mahindra Finance does? You're going to be loaning for tractors. Who is your audience? Who does Mahindra Finance work with? Who is Mahindra Finance customers? The customer is the person in the rural village. If you have never been to a rural village, if you do not know what your customer looks like, how are you going to be able to go and serve them? Not everyone in Mahindra Finance is going to be suited and booted and sitting in the Bombay office or the head office across India. They have to be in the villages. They have to be selling to them. So what Grassroutes does is, it gives these management trainees, which are not from, you know, XIMB or IRMA type of colleges, a snapshot, a taste of what it is to live in rural areas, what are the rural markets. We teach them about mandis, all of things that we learned about yesterday on FPOs. We train them about it. The last mile connectivity, all of that. In terms of our team members, we are a very small team. We have 7 full-time members. The hero or the actresses or the heroines of Grassroots are the villagers. It's because of them that Grassroots survives. So while these are the different verticals, we also, over the period of time, one of the things that we've learned and we are doing is we work with the governments. Good idea, bad idea, we're still trying to figure it out. But we work with the government of Andhra Pradesh. I would like to show you a video about it. One of the things which I have not said, and what I want to tell you is, even after, you know, we started our journey, INE's journey started way back in 2009. It's even now that we are not 100% profitable. You know, we are always struggling for money. So I think it's very important that we talk about our difficulties as well, because that's how we can learn from each other. So it's not that, you know, somebody must be thinking we are making 2 crores and all, nothing like that. We still struggle. Yeah, as a senior management team, we are always worried about next quarter ka paisa hai ki nahi staff ko dene ke liye. So we keep on struggling with that, and that also pushes us to think outside the box, look at ideas which can help generate money, and also bring in the money to the villagers. Everything that we do, a huge percentage of the money goes in straight to the villagers. It's with the village committee formation that we work with. And doing all of this, though the money has not been great, we won the national award. So that, I think, was a huge pat on the back. It was a bit of a reassurance for us that yes, you are on the right track. And the national award kind of, you know, sealed that bit. But it's called Grassroots Journeys. It's journeys for a reason, you know, because we are still learning. And in this process, over the years, we've had many, many NGOs, many supporters. It's been very, very difficult, right? I've been there with them for 4 years. And in the last 4 years, you know, one of our strong people to hold our hand and help us through all of it has been iSeed. So iSeed has also been like one of the huge rocks that helps us. It's great to come back when you want to brainstorm an idea. You might have a lot of, you know, as senior management, you have these blue sky thoughts in your head and you write it down at 3 o'clock in the night. And then in the morning at 8 o'clock, you feel, ye bakwas idea. You know, but if that thought keeps on lingering in your mind, you need to share it with somebody. And I think that's where also expertise of, you know, Sir, the entire iSeed team helps us. iSeed has helped us establish the Andhra Pradesh project that we are working in with the government quite a bit. We ran our very first community-based tourism workshop in January this year. It was held again at IRMA, and that was because of the help of iSeed. What the CBT workshop did was it got like-minded people to come together. It was like a learning workshop. Like if you want to start up a community-based tourism project, what is it that you need? What are the basics that you need? And you can learn from our mistakes. So it may not take you, hopefully, you know, the time that it has taken us to set up. So it's a journey, it's a process. We've not done 100% everything right. We're still learning. We are still trying to figure out. And there are definitely areas where we can improve a lot. Challenges, marketing is an issue, working with artisans is always up and down. Sometimes you might have a group of 100 people who are ready to come to the village, but the villagers say, nahi nahi, aaj ye puja hai, koi nahi aa sakta hai. And you are like, I've got a team, I've got a bus full of people who want to come next week, you know. They're like, no. What do? You know, how do you maintain that client? How do you not lose of that client? Because a lot of that money was also going to go to the villagers. So that is a challenge that we always think about, and it's what worries us. I just want to quickly run through some of the photographs. That's Ainir Pinerio when we won the national award. The stats that I just said. The amount of income that we have helped generate in the village varies. So it varies from 25 to 35% additional income. Yeah, so it's like farming is one of their main source, or it will be artisans, but this is an additional income. So community-based tourism has helped them get an additional source of income. I'll come to the areas. Our partners. These are some of the pictures from when we have some school trips. You can see how we are showing the children how to work in the farm, you know, living simple life, talking about animal livestock and village dance. Can you see this? This is the farm to plate exercise that we do. We also have a couple of foreign clients as well, foreign university students that do visit us from time to time. We do have a lot of single solo women trips as well. We do mother-child trips, lots of different things that we try to invent and innovate rather as we go along.